Hello everyone, welcome to today's video. Today we're going to be reviewing the Marvel Spider-Man 2 Hasbro Marvel Legends, Sony PS5. We're going to be reviewing the Velocity suit and the Spirit Spider, the Miles Morales Barakia suit, sorry if I butchered that, and the 2099 suit, the Miles Morales upgraded suit style, and the Peter Parker Anti-Venom suit style, and Felicia Hardy Black Cat and Peter Parker Black suit. So yeah, we're going to be looking at all of this wave today, except for the Kingpin, and we've already looked at Venom because Venom was the first one to release, I believe. So yeah, this wave really excites me. It's nice to get a bunch of wacky Spider-Man suits on the shelf. So yeah, I'll get them open and we'll take a look at them. I'll be back with that. And before we start the review, Sonny wanted to say hi. This is my kitten, Sonny, and he's just an ornery little fella. So I figured I'd let him make an appearance as he's over here messing with all my stuff and messing with me and just scratch the crap out of my arm. That'll be fun to feel later. Alrighty, now we'll get into the review. I'll be right back with opening them up. Okay, and we're back, and before we begin, I just wanted to show, this is the insert in all of them that honestly would be kind of cool. I say this all the time. Well, like, if you were doing a Gamer versus Play, you could use that. Alright, yeah, now we'll get rid of that, and we'll look at the figures. And I'm going to go from least anticipated to most anticipated. And for least anticipated, it was probably a toss-up between these two, because I hate this look, and I didn't even know this one existed. So I guess by default, it would be this one. But if we're going based on which suit I wanted the most, or like which suits I wanted, it would really be, I would rather have this suit than this suit. But we'll look at this guy first. Yeah, I think this is literally just a redeco of that old one from the first Spider-Man game, which is cool. I mean, I didn't get that, and I like the look, and this is more accurate, but it's really just an old figure. So yeah, I think it was in the Demogoblin wave, so I like getting all the looks of Spidey, even the more techie ones, so I'm fine with getting this. He's got all your old Marvel Legends articulation. He doesn't have a ball joint. He barely does that much, but he's cool. He'll be cool on the shelf. And then for accessories, he actually came with 2 sets of hands this time, full sets. He got the Thwippers, which are decoed the way they're supposed to be. And then you got the fists. I would have preferred crawling hands over, because you also get these web effects. I hate these things. We get so many of them. I don't hate them, but we get so fucking many of them. They're just not appealing anymore. But, yeah, I would have preferred some wall-crawling hands. I mean, I feel like that's an essential thing for Spider-Man. Also, damn, his ankles want to, like, not move at all, his hinges. But yeah, he's still pinned, so you can tell that makes him an older figure. But the pins don't really bother me here. It's kind of hard to tell. He doesn't feel as flimsy as a lot of other pinned characters. Sorry, I had to cough. So overall, I think this is probably a good figure to make an exclusive. That's the right kind of figure to make an exclusive. Not that desirable, but if people want it, they can get it. So the number 2. This is a suit that I despise in the game. Don't get me wrong, it looks cool, but it's not Spider-Man to me. I mean, this would go really great on, like, if you're really into Spirit of Vengeance. Like, you have a Robbie Reyes, you have a sorry, oh my gosh, I'm so sick. You have the Helverine, you have Danny Ketch, you have all of them. The Phantom Rider's coming out. That I just saw that reveal today. You can have a whole shelf. You get that Beef Boss or whatever, Beef Gut Boss or some shit. Gut Bomb, I think is what it was called. The Fortnite one. And you're living, bro. You're living it up. So yeah, and for getting hands, you get the Thwippers. You get a full set of hands with this guy. Kind of wish this guy got him over this guy, because I'm never gonna display this, or I'm gonna display him. Never gonna use him, really. He's just kind of a get to have on the shelf, honestly, which is probably not the best thing to be doing, but it's kind of half of this wave, honestly, because also I kind of feel that way about this suit. This is the Anti-Venom one. This is a style for the this is not what the Anti-Venom suit looks like in the game. This is an alternate style for him. The Anti-Venom suit in the game is actually so cool. This guy is just, I mean, the style's not bad, like, but I kind of wish they would have given us an Anti-Venom first, because we don't have I don't think we've ever had an Anti-Venom, suit for Spidey. We've only had, like, the symbiote, like, big monstrous version of him, so it'd be nice to get that. I mean, I would prefer the comic version anyway, so I'm cool with waiting for a comic version. This figure's not bad, don't get me wrong. He's just, it's kind of out of left field to do a style. I think this is the only one that's an alternate style version. So hopefully that means, since they are going to dip into styles in this line, like the alternate colorways, we'll get the black version of the Advanced Suit 2.0. It'd be nice to get the actual proper Advanced Suit 2.0 too, because Hasbro didn't give us the proper version of that. And the Gamerverse Peters kind of sucked anyway, so hopefully they can do a redo with that. And then, yeah, so... And for accessories, you get the whole array of hands again. You get thwippers and wall crawlers. And then you get this reuse piece that's been used over 1 million times, so... Okay. And then I think he's the only one in this wave. He gets an alternate head, which I actually really like both heads, so I'll have a hard time picking out which one to display him with. We'll probably go... like with this one, because it's a bit more classic feeling. And if you really wanted to, you could kind of just use this as a black suit, like, you know. It's a cool design, and I'm glad to have it. And he's got all of the, he's got butterfly joints, which I like that they carry on. That actually looks so cool. And then they carry on to the back too. It's a little messier on the back, but I think they did what they could. It would have been nice to have a ball joint instead of the waist swivel, but you get pretty good movement out of this guy. He's not a slouch. Next up would probably be, it'd have to be Miles' suit. So this is what is this called? The Strike suit in game, I think is what it's called. It's a good suit, but I much prefer the colorways on it. You get there's a style where it's black, and it changes the whole suit to black, and then this is red, and then these like stripes on the arm are red, and this, it looks so clean. I think this is the suit I'm thinking of. And that's the style I use the most in-game. I think this might be the style. I'm hoping that I'm not an idiot and I'm not making myself look dumb. But I think we have found out recently, white just kind of looks good. It just kind of looks good on a Spider-Man. I don't know why, but at least the Gamerverse, they pull off white so well. It's got all the details. It looks great. He's got butterfly joints. I don't know how far they go back, because I don't have the first Gamerverse Miles or the second one, so I really don't. And I need to get that one, and I need to get a Peter. Although there's about to be an actual good Gamerverse Peter from a different company, so, maybe not. And yeah, he's smaller. You see, he's smaller than Peter. He's not supposed to be in this game, by the way, because this is based off the first body mold. He's actually taller than Peter in the Spider-Man 2 game. So, the sizing's not correct, but it's Miles. I think of Miles being smaller, so I'm absolutely cool with that. And then for the hands, he probably has the coolest set by far. I think he comes with this. I don't remember if he came with... I already can't remember. There's so many accessories. He comes with the thwippers. And then you get you get the fists. I wish he got wall crawlers. I don't know why they didn't give him wall crawlers. I get it. They gave him the electricity hands. And these are cool. These will probably be what I display him with. But, like, come on. Give him his whole set of hands and then give the extras. But, yeah, he's got all the same articulation the rest of them have. Except for he doesn't have a hinge up at the top. He has a dumbbell joint. So he's not going to look up quite as well. And I just dropped his head into my shoe. So that was awesome. So he's not going to look up quite as well. But he's going to get better tilt. He can still look up pretty good amount. But he's also getting all that tilt. Whereas this guy can look up this far, and he's really not getting any tilt. So that's cool. I like this guy. This is a cool figure. And then next, okay, now it's getting tougher. Based squarely on articulation, it'd have to be this guy. He doesn't have as good articulation as the figure after him, so I'm gonna say this guy. I do like this look. Very much want to get that assassin spider to pair this guy up with, because I think they would look so dope together. $20.99. Yeah, he's really cool. This suit for Miles is actually really cool. I actually am in the camp that thinks Miles has the cooler suits out of Peter in the game. In their first games, I think Miles has the more suits that I wear. I would switch up more. Peter really only had like 4 or 5, and they were mostly classic Peter suits or Ben Reilly. So, and then in the second game, they did ramp it up. Peter has the better suits just because he has so many awesome symbiote suits, and I really love the symbiote suit. I just wish they would have given us the sensational Spider-Man look. That would have been so cool. But yeah, I love this look. I really particularly like the blue look. That's an alternate style. I think that looks really cool. But this is probably the coolest one of this look. He just looks tough, and he looks like you do not want to mess with this kid. He's like really high-tech at the top, and then the bottom's kind of like Daredevil puffy pants, which is cool. He actually has a boot swivel, which is kind of a weird place that they put it. They should have just put it there. But, I mean, I'm not going to cry about a boot swivel. You know, you get the butterfly joints. I don't think this is based off the same body as Miles. It doesn't look to be. So, but they're about the same height. This was an opportunity for them to make this one taller, but okay. Hasbro. That was kind of dumb, but okay. And that is a really good figure. And this is the next one. Now, this suit's awesome because it reminds me of the Captain America look from the comics, and I really actually particularly like that look. So what we're going to do real quick, we're going to knock over every figure first. That is a key part of this, so just remember that if you want to do this for yourself. Knock over everything. I just wanted to see how this would look. And, you know, that's not too bad. Especially, I'm getting the new Gamerverse cap, so I will definitely have a spare shield to put on this guy. And I really didn't like the second one of these games so much, so I don't mind sacrificing this guy to figure out a cap look. I might do that. Cap, you can have your shield back for now, but you're on thin ice, buddy. Yeah, I'm just gonna put him off to the side. Alrighty, we're gonna get them all stood back up. And yeah, literally, I just like the suit more. Well, I don't really even like the suit more. I like the figure more because the articulation. You get the awesome reverse ab crunch with the dumbbell joint up in the top. Do you get a hinge up at the top of the neck? You do. You get a dumbbell joint at the top of the neck. So I don't know why they didn't use this body mold for this guy. He's also still shorter, so they still didn't get the sizing right. But it also kind of just looks like they slapped some old Spider-Man hands on him. I think that's how he looks like in the game, but yeah, and I think he looks cool. The butterfly joints don't quite match up. They do a little zigzag. Let's look at the back. Back looks nicer because there's really nothing to match up. But yeah, this guy's cool, and he'll get into all those Spider-Man poses, which is nice. Way better than that comic book series Miles. And don't get me wrong, I like that Miles a lot, but he does have some flaws. Let's be real. Oh yeah, and I forgot, with the $20.99 suit, you get all the arrays of hands, which I think he has the coolest wall crawling hands because they're actually wall crawlers. They look like the fingers are all bent, and then you get some flippers. So, and then you get these overused bullshit webs. And then with this guy, you just get the array of hands, flippers and wall crawlers, and the fists that are on his body. So that is one cool thing about this wave, is that this is an accessory-heavy wave, honestly. And this last one's kind of a toss-up, which is shocking to me because I really like this this one character at the end. I think she'll still be at the end, but it's shocking that it's a bit of a toss-up because I really like this version of the black suit. It's not my favorite. It doesn't have butterfly joints, so that kind of pushes it back just enough that this last one wins. But I really, really, really was really hyped for the black suit in this game, and I feel like it delivered in some aspects, and a lot of aspects it didn't. I want to get into it just for a second. Just please humor me, indulge me a little bit. I think the black suit should have been a whole game on its own, and then the third game should have been Venom and Carnage. Even if you want to do the Life Foundation as like a DLC or like a smaller game like the Miles game was, that would be cool. And the way the direction they took Venom just wasn't for me, man. I thought the Kraven shit was dope as hell. I don't think Kraven should have his own army, but I get it. Video game logic. You gotta have bad guys to beat up. I get that. I also loved the Lizard. He wasn't in it enough to say definitively he's the best lizard ever or anything like that. He's not the best lizard ever, but he had a cool ass look, and I'm really hoping and praying that means we get like a Build-A-Figure or a deluxe. I mean, this guy was huge, and the lizard's about that big, probably a little bit smaller, honestly, than this guy. Maybe he's a bit bigger, so he'd have to be maybe a made-to-order figure because he's gonna be big. And then I want a Kraven, and it'd be nice if they just did the villains from the first line. I think that's what most people want. I don't think everyone wants all these alternate suits. I still want all these alternate suits, don't get me wrong. But I want an Electro from the first game. We want a Doc Ock from the first game. We definitely want, the Scorpion and the Rhino and Martin Lee. We have Martin Lee. I think it'd be nice to have a Martin Lee on an updated body and maybe get a 2-pack of, so you don't have to buy a Martin Lee and a Demon Soldier. It'd be nice to do that. I would like an Aunt May. I'd like a Genki, a Miles, MJ, all of them. It'd be just nice to get all the characters and the villains from the game. Norman would be nice to get. So yeah, I bet if they do another second round of this Spider-Man 2, they'll probably still keep doing the Spider-Man 2 branding. But I bet we'll probably, hopefully at least, we get the anti-Venom looking figure, that Harry wears. I'm not a huge fan of Harry Osborn in that game. I'm just not a big Harry Osborn as Venom fan in general. Harry Osborn as Venom is not my favorite thing, but I just like that look. And I would like a Tombstone as well. That would be nice to have because I love Tombstone. And I like that he was reformed in the game. I liked that direction. And the Shocker, I would like his figure from the first game because I love the way Shocker looked in that game. So, yeah, all I'm trying to say is this is not my favorite game ever. The gameplay is amazing. Don't get me wrong. Gameplay's fucking incredible. But, the story is just not it for the most part. There are some good aspects of the story, but a majority of it is just So, yeah, sorry for getting a bit of a rambling mood. I just, I am excited for the Wolverine game, though. So, yeah, this guy has the new articulation, the reverse ab crunch joint with the ball up there. And then he doesn't have butterfly joints, which I feel like they did that because everyone complains when it's the Venom's symbol. It's not really, that's not Venom, but you know what I mean. The black suit symbol. I feel like people complain, it breaks it up. It's a fucking action figure. It's going to break it up no matter what. Get the fuck over it. Cry to someone else. I want to be able to pose my fucking figures. And then, yeah, you get pretty good. I feel like one of the next Maxim figures are just going to be a black suit Spider-Man. And I was thinking about this a bit alternatively. I was thinking, he's a little bit gruffer, a little bit more textured. This could work as a Dark Avengers Spider-Man, I think. So I might get an extra one if I ever end up doing a Dark Avengers, because it seems like they're trying to complete that team. They just did a new Iron Patriot, which is going to suck having to buy that pack on the aftermarket, because if I want a Dark Avengers, I might as well get all 3 of those figures. I really want the Taskmaster. The Doctor Doom's kind of a maybe. And then, no, they just did it at the Dakin, and then they just announced the Dark Avenger Spider-Man today, which is cooler than the regular one, but it's on that fucking 6-arm Spider-Man body, and I don't know if it's going to be good or not. So, yeah. And this guy's tough. He looks awesome. It'd be nice to get, a gruff and, just, beat up Peter face, but I guess they agree with us that that's version of Peter sucks cock. That face for Peter sucks cock. And actually, you know what? Miles right here, he is a little bit taller than Peter. What have I been talking about? Maybe it's because, yeah, the older ones. It's the older figures that are taller than him. And then the Anti-Venom one. These are all him. And the one that's actually, yeah, so that, okay. So we do that. Well, okay, knock all the figures down again. That's ritual. We can do this. You pair these two up. They're not exactly the suits I would use together, but they work together. So that's nice to see. That's a little bit of, you know, looks okay. I mean, that one is smaller, a little bit smaller, but, you know, yeah, that's cool. And then by far, okay. Well, okay, first we'll look at the Spider-Man Peter's black suit, his hands. You get the full array of hands. You get the flippers, and which I'm not really a big fan of flippers in this suit, you know, because I like it when he shoots it out of the top. And then you get wall crawlers, and you'll notice he has. These are kind of, I feel, an homage to the original black suit. I prefer the rectangle like things on the back of the hands, or squares, whatever you want to call them. But these are cool too. I definitely don't hate that look. And then you get a pretty cool web accessory actually. And I think that I will actually use this one for once. And then next, by far, you get the best figure in the wave, in my opinion, Black Cat, Felicia Hardy. This is my favorite character, Marvel character, and this is probably my favorite portrayal of her This is my favorite portrayal of her outside the comic books. It might even rival a lot of comic book appearances. I've loved Felicia. She wasn't always my favorite, don't get me wrong. Recently, I've kind of realized, oh yeah, she is my favorite. It's always been, you know, up there with... Dick Grayson has always been my favorite character of all time, but I'd say my favorite Marvel character for a long time was toss-up between, like, I'd say... Deadpool was it for a fat minute, I will say that. And then it was a lot of X-Men filtered in. And then it was Miles Morales and, you know, and Ben Reilly. Ben Reilly's still in my top 3. So, you know, I like a lot of characters. I do hope we get a updated classic Black Cat figure, because this figure is so good, and it's on that new tech. Got the Verse Ab Crunch and the ball joint up there. Double jointed pinless arms and legs. You can get her in actual Black Cat poses. And she's beautiful. And I really liked her character arc in this game. Both games, really. I like that she is trying to turn her life around, but also she's kind of not, you know what I'm saying? I wish this came with an alternate head. The one that needs an alternate head is her, so she can have an angry head sculpt. And then I would like an extra fist and an extra gripping hand, because let's be honest, she's the girl figure of the wave. She has less plastic to make, and she's smaller, and she's Black Cat. She uses her hands a lot too, and she kind of needs extra stuff. So hopefully one day we'll get a maximum Black Cat. That would be my dream figure, is a maximum Black Cat. And that, and like a maximum, like, I don't know, like a Taskmaster would be so fucking cool. We're never going to get that, but I would also like a maximum Cyclops. I gotta be honest. But for the articulation, I am sad she doesn't have the butterfly joint, because that Black Widow body that's also been used on a few other figures does have butterfly joints, if I remember correctly. So, you know, maybe if I'm feeling frisky, I'll put this head on a Black Cat or a Black Widow body, and we'll see what happens. Because honestly, before this was announced, I was thinking of taking the Arkham Amazing Yamaguchi, which I still might do now that I have this head. And I was thinking about putting a custom Black Cat head on it. So, you know, we'll see. But yeah, she looks great. She has got all the articulations you could ever want, you know, except for butterfly joints, you know, and a boot swivel. Even her hair's articulated, which is kind of cool. It came out in the package, and I was scared. I didn't know what I lost. And I was like, oh my god, she looks bald. So that's what she kind of looks like without it. But you just plug it in. Got articulation, and she looks great. So if you wanted her hanging down, saying, what's up, Spider? That type of stuff, that'd be cool. And then for accessories, you get a grippy hand and a fisty hand on her, and then you get the more claw hands, which are probably the hands I'll use. You could use this as a grippy if you really wanted to. Wish we got 2 of these, if I'm being honest. I'm probably not going to use this as a video game Black Cat, if I'm being completely honest with you. I'm probably going to put this on like my Marvel Knights, Midnight Suns type shelf, the darker, grittier characters. So I think I can find a nice black or white. A white hand could work too, to put on her so she can have the same hands, because sometimes I want like the same hands, but nonetheless, those hands look great on her. And that grippy hand means she has something to grip. Actually, you get the Wand of Atum. To those that haven't played the game, there is a section in the game where Felicia is running from the hunters, which are trying to. So the hunters are basically taking down a bunch of Spider-Man and villains, and they're not really going after Spider-Man or anything. They're trying to kill the villains because Kraven doesn't see Spider-Man as a threat, doesn't see him as worthy of killing him, because this is basically an adaptation of Kraven's Last Hunt storyline. So she's running. She stole this from the Sanctum Sanctorum, and Peter doesn't want to deal with her. MJ doesn't want Peter dealing with her because MJ is a jealous cunt. And so she has Miles go do it. So that's a Miles mission, and you chase after her, and then you help her, and then she reveals she's doing all this so she can get to Paris to help her girlfriend. And then this disappears because Miles wants to find Martin Lee, and he's thinking, oh, this will help. And then it disappears in his hand, and you get a note from Wong saying, thank you for the help. So yeah, that's kind of what happens with that. So that is true. That is the truth. I'm telling you the facts, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, all those in between. So yeah, sites persons. You'll see what they look like. All the wave mates all look like together right here. Let's see how far back we can pull this camera, and then we're gonna pull the figures in, or we'll pull them apart a little bit. Because I want to take a couple out because the ones I like, but I don't want to do that to people that might be wanting to get, the Spirit Spider, for example, figures I'm not personally attached to or like, but other people might be looking for. So number one, here's the biggest one. This is the only villain we've gotten from this line besides Martin Lee back in the day, and we just got Kingpin. I might pick up that Kingpin just to make a Shadow King out of it, but I'm not going to have the Kingpin to have as a Kingpin. So this is what Venom looks like. This is the big one. This is the one that matters the most next to all of them. And I'd say he's pretty fucking big. It'd be nice if we got a Wraith from this game too, honestly. There are so many characters from these lore, and I'm hoping once Wolverine comes out, we get all those. Because I'm starting to come around to Wolverine a little bit more. But yeah, we'll do a couple other figures too. Here's what they look like next to like a Captain America. And then here's a Mezco Wolverine that I have a sword in his hand. And he's a bit big, like always. I always say that. So I'm not going to be able to complain about size when the new Marvel Legends is, when I get the new Gameverse Marvel Legends, because I like the Mezco Wolverine's my favorite Wolverine I have. So like, yeah, this guy's great. And also I put a little just white nail polish and then put some clear coat over it because I don't have paint right now, to make him more comic accurate. And people might think, oh, you ruined it, now it doesn't look like a game. Actually, he does have these at some point in the game. I don't remember if they grow onto him the more he becomes like Venom, or if they just appear randomly. But yeah, he actually does have these on, and I painted them on all of the pairs. So I kind of wish that the Gamerverse black suit came with something more in his scale like this, so he could, because you'd have a move where you and then you slam, and that's like probably my favorite move to use in the game. So I have seen some customs going around. I don't remember who did them, so I suggest looking just for some Spider-Man symbiote effects. Just look up something along those lines, and I bet you'll find something. So yeah, this is a great wave. I'm glad to have all these characters, and they're gonna look so good on the shelf. Even the ones that are not specifically like, they're not my favorite to have, they look good in a Spider-Verse display. Like, crazy Spider-Man variants. Because just because I don't play as this in the game doesn't mean I hate this look. I just don't like this look for Spider-Man, and I think it looks odd in game. I've actually used this suit a couple of times in the first game. I don't think I've used this one very much. I used this a couple times. These are not, honestly, this whole wave besides Black Cat are not my favorite skins in the game. I'm a more classic guy, so I went for classic symbiote suit, classic Spider-Man suits. Except for, I did try to go out there for Miles a little more. So yeah, maybe they'll give us naked Spider-Man from the first game too, where he's running around in his boxer shorts. That'd be cool. Yeah, that's all I can really say. Thank you for watching, everyone. If you like these figures, go get them. They're all in stock on Big Bad Toy Store, so you can get literally all these right now. If I had to go in order on which ones I do like the most, Black Cat, Black Suit Spidey, 2099, Strike Suit, Velocity Suit, Barakia Suit, Anti-Venom, then Spirit Spider. Based on the figures, honestly, because that's the order I kind of feel like I like the figures the most in. But they're all great. They're all great in their own way. None of these are really bad figures, if I'm being honest. They all look good. They're not like Amazing Yamaguchi level or Mafex level, but I don't need that for every fucking figure. Spider-Man, I would like that for Spider-Man. I'm gonna be honest, I'd like that for Spider-Man. But these move well enough that I don't like hate them. I wish they all had these guys' articulation. If I'm being honest, you know, the upper ball joint. I think that would help a lot. So yeah, I'm gonna get a couple more size comparisons in here, not just Venom. I'm gonna get a couple Spider-Man size comparisons. So I'll be right back with that. Okay, I got everything prepared now. Be warned, these are all mostly the ones that are in poses. I'm not taking out of poses, so just be warned with that. Number one, we're going to do probably the most important one for a lot of people. Here's the Maximum Spidey. I just got him delivered today with the 2099 suit. And I don't know if I'm going to do a review on him because everyone's kind of already done it. And I don't love the figure, if I'm being honest. So, as much as I thought I would. So, that's probably the most important one. So, we're going to put that in the middle just to let everyone see. Actually, we'll bring some people in a little more because I'm probably just going to do one comparison at a time. We'll get a couple of these guys in there. Oh, maybe not. We'll just keep them like that. So yeah, that's what they all look like together. And then, based on the next game, there's rumors that it's going to be Silk. And I mean, Cindy Moon was at the end, spoiler alert, end credit scene. And Cindy Moon is my favorite Spider-Woman. Top 5 favorite Spider character, like Spider-Verse character. I will love to see that. I would love to see that and be able to play as Cindy Moon. It'd be even more fun for me to play as Black Cat, but Cindy Moon would be just a dream as well. So I'm cool with that. And then just to get a different body type in here, here's a Spider-Boy, Bailey Briggs. Not the best figure ever, but he's certainly not horrible. And then we'll get one of the best figures I have in my collection, the Sentinel, Into the Spider-Verse, Miles Morales. And I'm not taking him out of his pose, so I might as well put another guy in that I'm not taking out of his pose. Here's the Sensational suit, my favorite Spider-Man suit. Yeah, and as you can see, it already looks like a Spider-Verse lineup. And I don't even have really that many suits that aren't the Gamerverse ones. And it already looks like a Spider-Verse lineup. So, and then another clone brother, speaking of Ben Reilly, we have Kane. Kane looks cool. I like this Kane figure. I still need to look into a cloth cape for him, but they all look cool together. And then the last two. This is actually a style in game. You can get the animated kind of like cell shaded one, but it's red and blue as like the Venom was, so that's cool. And then here's Spider-Man Unlimited. So yeah. So as you can see, they will go pretty well in a collection, and they will look good in that collection. I want to thank you all for watching and supporting however you support. Enjoy the hobby. Don't do this that's something I need to just get off my chest. If you're not having fun with this hobby, stop doing the hobby. For me, this hobby is fun still. It's still, I don't know. I've really been doing this my whole life, but action figures are the newest thing for me. I had a few action figures growing up. It was always Lego though. And then Lego got too expensive and I got kind of bored with Lego. I still like Lego. It's so expensive, so it makes it boring. Once you do build that Lego set, it's just kind of like sits there. But with action figures, I can sit around, pose them for hours, figure out different storylines. You can kind of do that with Lego, don't get me wrong. But I just love action figures so much, and I'm so glad to be in this hobby, and I'm so glad to have the people that have welcomed me into this hobby and have been there, and the people on YouTube like Robo Don't Know and D Amazing, Displaying Model Behavior. You got Carbon Scoring. There's so many great figure channels out there. Spider Criminal, Papito, I've been watching this new guy, Schizo Toys, and yeah, he's an asshole. But we need that sometimes, honestly. And he's directing it towards Hot Toys collectors, so that's okay. If you collect Hot Toys, you should probably do something that I probably shouldn't say because it might get me banned. You should probably do that. I'm just kidding. Hot Toys, I don't like Hot Toys, but they look nice. They're just, I feel like they're just movable statues to me. So, sorry on that little rant. So, I thank you all for watching. I think the only figures I have left to maybe look at is I'm going to probably do the rest of that comic book wave for the first one. Not the rest, but the last 3 I'm getting from that wave. I'll probably at this point pick up Dakin, and then I have one of that. I do want that Iron Man, just because I might one day do a Armory, because I love Iron Man, I always have. So, yeah. Thanks for watching, everyone. Bye.